Welcome back, guys. I'm Zell, and today we're going to open up this little box. Alright, so you guys read the title, so you know what's in here, so let's just get to it. Inside we have a Spyderco PM3. It's actually not a PM3. That's what it's been billed at by a lot of us in the community, but it isn't. It is a Para 3. Something to take note of if you're looking for one or whatever, because it is not a paramilitary 3 or a military 3. So, what do we get with the paramilitary, or the Para 3? It looks a whole lot like, a PM2. In fact, let's just get a PM2 out here and get a look. Just about everything. They really have, for the most part, shrank a PM2. And I say for the most part because there are some differences. The Para 3 has been designed more as an EDC knife than the PM2. And it is, of course, a little bit smaller. We'll get more into that here in a minute. Let's get a look at this guy. We've got the same G10, very similar anyhow to what we have on the paramilitary 2. We got Spyderco's generally good hardware. Now we do have a pin here. Now it's a pin that will come apart. It's not a pin that snaps in there and you can't take it apart. But it is a pin here instead of a pin with a set of screws in it like on the PM2. We got a standard pillar back here, nothing special, just like on the paramilitary, and we've got a lanyard tube with a big sleeve in it, which, by the way, I'm sure, just like on the other ones, this is flared just a little bit. It's set up to where you can't just pull these apart. You need to use some tools, and I'm not going to say what, because you need to know what you're doing to do it, but to take just a little bit of that edge off before you try to pull this apart. Otherwise, you're going to start messing up your scales. Anyhow, we've got a standard Spyderco pocket clip. Do note that it's down a little lower. We'll grab the Levi's here in a minute. But tip up, left, right, tip down, both as well. And, I guess we should check the action. Overall, have a very nice appearance on the knife, so let's see if it works. Well, that was beautiful. So was that. We better check lockup. Well, lockup is good and solid. Nothing loose there. So, at least on this one, I have an action just like a paramilitary 2 or a good paramilitary 2. And that is a beautiful thing. Well, let's check ergonomics while we're at it. Okay. Whenever I saw that they were coming out with the Para 3, I wasn't too excited about it. I mean, really, why would I go for a shorter blade whenever I live somewhere where it doesn't matter? The longer blade is fine where I live, and most of the places around me it's just fine. So, the shorter blade didn't really make much sense for me. But I kind of see. The ergonomics here are good, and you don't end up with that extra handle sticking out the end of your hand. Blade length, well, it's long enough. What do we have here? Let's put the calipers on it, and we'll just check Spyderco's specs. Now, we're about 2.9, just slightly over. And we've got Sal and Eric's maker marks there on the blade. And, of course, Golden, Colorado, USA, Earth. And we have our 50/50 choil, of course. I mean, really, they have shrank a paramilitary 2, but they have done it by rebuilding it smaller, not by just making it smaller in the drawings. So, anyhow, just to give you an idea, we'll put the paramilitary, or the Para 3, that's going to be tough. Here's the Paramilitary 2. We'll try to line up the back of them. And here is the biggest one in the military series, the military. So that's what you get for this series of knives, and that sure doesn't look even. That's because I'm kind of, there we go. Is that straighter? Hey. And now we're all nice and even. You know, they just get a little bit bigger, each one of them. And the military is a rather big knife. Paramilitary, it's that larger EDC knife. And the Para is, well, it's going to fit in that smaller EDC category. You know, and we'll get deeper into the knife later on. But overall, so far, I'm impressed. Detent feels pretty good. Open and closed. And the lock system, of course, works good. A lot better than the, what was it, the Sage 5 that I ended up with. This one is doing its job properly. Now, I did say we grabbed the Levi, so we'll grab them real quick. And this is what we get. And I kind of view this as a little bit of a problem on this shorter knife. We're at, well, heck, we've got the calipers out here. We'll look. We have a full inch of that knife sticking out above the pocket. And whenever the knife is only a total of 4 inches long, 4¼ inches long or so, that's nearly 25% of the knife sticking out above the pocket. In a tip-up configuration, you know, tip down, it's going to be a little deeper. I don't know if I like that much, but of course this should have the same pattern for the pocket clip that the Paramilitary 2 and probably even the military, well, not the military, but many of the Spyderco knives. So should be able to procure a deep carry pocket clip pretty easily. I'll see if I can do something about that, and we'll get a look at that when we do the full review. Back to that blade real quick. It's your standard Spyderco drop point. It is CPM S30V. That doesn't upset me. Some people it really has. They wanted to see S35VN or something a little higher or in perceived quality. I'm plenty happy with S30V, and it's my opinion you should be too. But anyhow, that's up for discussion. So I guess we should see if Spyderco got this sharp. I forget to do this sometimes because, well, companies like Spyderco rarely ever send you a dull knife. And they haven't here. This little Para 3 is definitely a sharp knife out of the box. Now, it's not sharp like I make them or like Rob makes them or some of the other guys do, but it is sharp. And that is our first look at the Spyderco Para 3. Got it right that time, guys. And we'll be looking more at this knife in the near future. We'll do a full review. We'll do a quick review. We may even look at some of the insides. I don't know. I think Nick has already done a full takedown of this knife, but we'll get more in depth with it very soon. And I really appreciate you guys stopping by and talking knives with me for a couple minutes. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.